This is the apple frame layering stencil set from Hero Arts. There are 5.25 by 6.5 inch stencils to create this beautiful apple frame. I'm using it on a 1/4 sheet of Hammermill cardstock, using my sticky mat to hold both the stencil as well as my cardstock in place. Now, when you use this stencil set, if you have a larger piece of cardstock, there are 4 registration marks on the stencil in all 4 corners that helps you to line it up. Because I'm not using a larger piece of cardstock, I'm just lining up the pattern. It's really easy to line them up. I'm also using a combination of distress inks as well as interference ink so that I have a little bit of shimmer in some of the areas and just plain ink in others. I like using dye inks for doing the ink blending because I like the transparency that dye inks give. And by adding those interference inks, anywhere that ink is heavier, I get that gorgeous interference shimmer to it. When I do my stenciling, I start where I want the ink the darkest and then move to where I want it to be a little bit lighter. That way I get a variation of tones with each color. It just gives it a little bit more visual interest, in my opinion. For the apples, I'm doing both layers in interference inks. I'm starting off with a yellow interference ink. This one has a beautiful pink shimmer to it. And then the next one I'm using is a red that has a gold interference to it. So it blends perfectly with the yellow. I saved the stencil for the last layer of apples, and I'm going to use it to add some clear texture paste once I'm done doing this ink blending for this particular layer. That way I'm adding a little bit of extra texture as well as dimension to my apples, and then they're going to dry nice and glossy. It's just going to give it a little bit more interest. This is a step that you could easily leave and not do if you want, but it's just a great way to add a little bit of a different texture to it. Once dry, you just add a sentiment to your card and you have a beautiful image for a fall card.